And welcome back, everyone. It's Savage Sasquatch, and we have just finished Prey, but we want to go back and clean up and see some other endings and maybe get a few other achievements along the way. So, we got back to this section of the game.
What's the update on our station?
What the hell have you done?
I simply acted on Morgan's orders. Morgan,
Your operators locked me under the contract.
Fine.
We need to
Morgan,
link up
I'll
to the
meet you in
null
shuttle
wave
bay.
device if we're gonna get that signal off before it's too late.
consider the risk.
So, we're gonna
If it works,
let them do their thing.
none of us has the right to endanger every life on Earth.
If anyone's playing God,
We've already seen this in the past where they will talk it out, and eventually January will zap
Neuromods are made.
good old Alex, and
In the future, Alex envisions
he'll go
many will
unconscious.
die for the benefit of a privileged few.
I'm not arguing with a glorified desktop. Kill it, Morgan.
Sorry, Morgan. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. You'll have to destroy me. Which means you will be destroying yourself.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos 1 and all the Typhon. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth, and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
So we can either continue with a Mind Without Limits, or we can go after Perdition. And that's what we're gonna do. Let's see if we can talk
The
to
order
him.
to detonate Captain Mark's terminal. Soon, the Apex Typhon will have invaded every quarter of Talos 1. Decide. A question. Is Morgan Yu capable of empathy beyond a small circle of interest? I'm only an operator facsimile. I cannot do it for you. Give the order to detonate Captain Mark's terminal.
Where's Captain Mark's terminal?
I don't know if you've seen, but there is alien matter ripping through the hull. You have to move. Боже мой. Every window in this station, it's engulfing the...
Alright, so we gotta move, because we haven't put in the arming devices, which I believe is all the way out at the reactor core. And I'm curious. I'm doubting it's going to let us go take the outside path. I could be wrong. I would love it if I was wrong. I'm curious what would happen if we try to go out there with the Apex Typhon. We'll fast forward for you guys. Alright, so we're down to the chamber, I believe, where... Wow. We're down to the chamber where you get to arm these puppies. Alright, they are activated. Do we get a timer to get out? Do we get out? Okay, now we get to run all the way back to the bridge, which I am super thrilled about, guys. It only took us like 8-10 minutes to run over here. Mostly load screens. So we'll catch you guys back on the bridge. We will equip some neuromods actually along the way here. Might as well get this out of the way. Let's see, let's go to the morph tree. So we're gonna just mimic quickly, like 20 items. Not that.
Vital signs. Final resistance online.
So we got the T1 up by propelling something up in the air with our ability there and knocking it out. We also got the achievement for mimicking 20 different items, which was easy enough. We'll use Phantom Shift. And we scan him and we get that achievement. Then we... Come on, load my abilities. Okay. Let's make a phantom for ourselves. That's terrifying. And then we get the It's Alive achievement.
I'm aware that you primed the arming keys to destroy Talos 1. So I find the activation of this null wave transmitter station. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth. If you want to activate the null wave, you'll have to kill me.
Talos. Registration for the Talos Employees Talent Show is now open. See Galen in the crew quarters front desk to reserve a slot.
Alright, so we've made it back to the lobby and we have the Perdition quest here. We have plugged in all of the... what are they called? Oh, I think we have to go down here. We've plugged in the two self-destruct keys. It said to use a certain station to... if I want to destruct a certain work terminal, but I don't see it. Anything about? Alright. Looks like this might be it. Or like we might be in the right direction. Yep.
Reactor detonation.
It's finished. All the directives you gave me have been completed, all except one. When the station detonates, and every trace of technology derived from it, including you. But you know this already. It was your idea, after all. The alien neuromods you carry would pose an unacceptable risk to everyone on Earth if you returned.
This is true.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent.
Michaela,
Evacuate
this is Morgan.
Talos 1.
Are you on your way?
I'm not going to make it.
What?
Everything's fine. I got one of the escape pods working.
Are you sure? Morgan, something's wrong.
There's no time. Trust me. I'll see you Earthside.
Oh, wow. So we're going to save this as save number 4, I think. So we have a couple different ways we can go about this. We can either go take a seat.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos 1.
Or we can try to make it off. I really want to see what happens if we let ourselves die. Wonder if this will speed things up. I guess it's gonna go boom now.
Warning, reactor detonation.
There goes the shuttle with our friends.
I keep having this dream.
So it still takes us to a hidden location, even if we chose to stay behind, which I find very interesting. I'm curious if we'll still be present, or what this is going to be like.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise. And later, it recovered the Lightner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Dar. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos 1.
Michaela,
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram. It let him go. Was that mercy?
would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help. And it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. There were a lot of humans controlled by the Typhon that it could have harmed. Seems like it went out of its way to avoid that. I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to destroy Talos 1. Why? To protect Earth? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we had to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something.
Well, there's our Typhon hand right there.
What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today.
Nothing's changed by blowing up the
We
station.
spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do.
So I'm doing this. I just want to see if we get any different achievement or how it ends up. So, wow. Alright, so I want to wrap up a couple last quick achievements here before we end our time with Prey. One is we're going to look for a mimic. And we want to do the achievement to mimic a mimic. Because that's just kind of both fun and ironic. I don't know if we'll find any in the lobby itself. We might have to go to the shuttle bay. Something be attacking me. Alright, so one other achievement we'll do while we are in the lobby. This is the kind of suicidal one. We're going to go to the audio log to track the nightmare. Let's see what happens here. I want to see, where does this pop out? There he is. Now, the interesting thing is we're so overpowered at this point that we pop that nightmare like it's nothing. We'll escape into the, yeah, the nightmare is hunting you, or am I hunting the nightmare? We're going to escape into here, and there should be mimics in here, because we didn't really flesh out the shuttle bay until later in our playthrough. So I loaded back to this point about 25 hours in. Our full playthrough ended up being 32 hours, and so we should still have mimics up in the opening area. And there's a mimic. So all we need to do is mimic a mimic. Alright, we mimicked a mimic, and the funny thing is the mimic was... The mimic wasn't even in mimic form.
Immediately.
That's interesting. You can mimic... you could mimic a turret. And then you can act as the turret. We finished Prey. We got the best ending, and we also saw this probably the second best ending. And you know what? They weren't very different, and I can finally explain why. In our playthrough, we got about 600 achievement points, so it's not a completionist run. You have to play multiple playthroughs. I think I would have to play through 2 or 3 more times just to get the achievement, or at least save in the right place and do it 2 more times. So we're not going to obviously do that. That's only for those who just absolutely can't get enough of this, or just are so OCD they must have every achievement. Anyway, I'd mentioned that the 2 endings that we saw weren't very different, and I will explain why. And to do so, I'm going to just try to rehash as quickly as I can the whole story. So, you wake up on day 1 as Morgan Yu, and you're taking, basically you're sent to take some tests, and then everything goes crazy. You see your first mimic kill somebody, and then you're gassed, and then you wake up the next day and you're right back in your apartment. And like nothing has changed, except things are slightly moved around, and then you're kind of a little freaked out, and this voice called January tells you that you need to get out of there. So you escape, and you find the space station, that you're aboard a space station, and that it has been taken over by these enemies known as the Typhon. As you progress through the station, January, you eventually meet up with January, who eventually, in your office, reveals a video to you of you saying that you must destroy the station and everybody on it. And that's your mission, to prevent the Typhons from spreading to Earth, lest Earth be conquered and fall. So that's your mission. And so you begin encountering people along the way, and you can choose to follow your mission very strictly and choose to kill them, or you can choose to spare them. And really, how the game shapes up to a certain degree will depend on what choices you make. Are you kind and merciful? Do you spare people? Or are you cold and calculating and merciless and just following your mission? You kill everybody or let everybody die, or just act in a way where you don't care about anybody. So we chose to play as a benevolent person. We chose to help people, to save everybody we could, and we saved most everybody on the station that was still alive and savable at that point. And in the end, you have the choice to destroy the space station, or you can use the null wave prototype and destroy all the Typhon on the station and keep the station there, and preserve the research and neuromods. Regardless of which one you choose, you can choose to kill Alex Yu. You can choose to kill January. You can choose to kill all the people on the station. And regardless of what you choose, it seems like, upon completing the game, you wake up in a laboratory with Alex overlooking you. The reason I didn't pick up on this at first was because we did the best possible ending, the sympathetic ending, where we left Alex alive, and so it would totally make sense that we wake up and see Alex, and him tell us that this is the world now, and he shows you the world is completely covered in the coral that the Typhon create, so the world is basically probably overrun by Typhon at this point, and he's showing you that this is the world now, and so you think, for having saved the space station and that you made the wrong decision, that it cost the world everything. The second time I destroyed the space station, and I believe we killed Alex, if I remember correctly. And then we wake up and Alex is standing over us. And when I listened more carefully to everything he said that what we had experienced was the memories of Morgan Yu and experiences. And so basically, my belief and my understanding, and I'm pretty confident in this, is that everything you experience in the game is merely a test, merely a simulation. You're actually never on the space station. I believe that you were in some kind of neural test the entire time, and that they put you into a scenario, whether it was just like a game for you to experience, like a training exercise, but the one that you fully believe that you're in, and they want to see what you do. And we didn't do this, but I believe if you murder people, if you murder everybody there and you're cold and merciless, I believe that they would probably kill you when you wake up, because Alex starts asking the different operators around him that have the voices of the people that you rescued on the station. And now whether those are people who are actually alive, or it was simply just operators uploaded with their memories, or something else entirely, or that's their remote control thing, we don't know. But he asked them, does he believe that you should live? And I believe that if you don't act in mankind's best interest on the space station, in that you're not kind, you're not benevolent, you're not helpful, you don't save people, but rather you kill them or let them die, I believe they would choose to have you die. I believe they would let you be killed by Alex, because it turns out you are a Typhon and you were just in this simulation all along. And so your decisions throughout the game do matter, because really they weigh in on the verdict of whether you will live or die at the end of the game, is my belief. And then really the big decision from there is whether you choose to continue to act benevolently upon receiving this, where you choose to take Alex's hand and join him, or whether you choose to kill them all. And you can go either way. We've seen both endings. I think ultimately the point of the game is that they have created a human Typhon hybrid, and that is you. And they are trying to see, are you somebody that can be trusted? Are you somebody that can be on their team? Can they use you in the fight to save mankind? Because it looks like Earth has been overrun by the Typhon and their coral network. So it's all very intriguing. It's a very deep game, and it's a very deep story. I really like it, and the more I understand about this, I'm glad I went ahead and gave the game a B. I will probably, just based on what I now understand about the story, I'm going to go ahead and make it an even B, give it an 83%, rather than, I think originally I had said somewhere between a 78 and an 82, and I think I erred on the 82 side. I'm going to give it an even B at an 83%. So, anyway, guys, I hope that this was helpful, informative, interesting, or at least gave you a good nap. So, this is Savage Sasquatch from GamingReportCard.com. Feel free to check out our website, where we keep reviews of all of the new games that we play, as well as links to all of our videos. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so that way you see all of the videos we put out. We'll keep putting a good number out. I just picked up Injustice 2 today. Today is release day. So we'll have more of that. I'll begin in that tomorrow. And but we'll have another number of other projects coming along as well, if that's not your cup of tea. Make sure to leave us a thumbs up. Definitely appreciate your guys' support. And lastly, let us know what you think of the game, what you think of the story, or whatever in the comment section, and we'll try to get back to you guys pretty quickly. So until then, until next game, this is Savage Sasquatch, and I am out of here.